Hey guys, if any of you are around the late teenage years or you just turned 18 and you're a man, you might want to listen to this. So, I don't know about the person who's watching this. I don't know if any of this applies to you, but for those of you who it does apply to, I'd like to talk about my father. Now, my father is quite possibly the greatest man that I know. He's the person that I look up to the most, and he's the person that I also respect the most. However, like most sons, I didn't always like him, especially during my teenage years. So, I want to share some experiences that I've had when I was going through my teenage years, and how it shaped me into going into the relationship that I have with my father. So, my father he's a construction worker. He's been doing construction his entire life, ever since he's 19 years old. And for as long as I can remember, I have been helping him with construction projects. Now, this basically reached a head when I was around 14. I helped my father build our house, along with the rest of my family. So, my father was a very hardworking man, and like most other dads, he was strict. Now, of course, dads are always strict. They're going to be strict. If you have a father, you will understand that. Your dad's going to be strict. He's going to be hard on you, and he's doing it for a good reason. He's doing it because he believes you can be better. He believes that you can be a greater person than he ever thought he could be. The problem is, some of their methods aren't that agreeable with us. We rebel, we get angry, and we start distancing ourselves. I was the same way. When we were building that house, my dad and I had a lot of tension. I was some 14-year-old who didn't really want to do anything. I mean, I was just starting high school. I felt like that there was nothing that I could do in that moment that would be helpful. My dad was constantly on my ass. He's always getting on to me, telling me to do all the things that he wanted me to do, trying to teach me how to be a better person. And I did not like this. So, naturally, I rebelled. I got into arguments with my dad. I got into some pretty bad fights with him as well. I would also there were days where I wouldn't even speak to him, because I never wanted to listen to him. And that was probably the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life, not listening to my dad. You see, throughout my teenage years, all I ever wanted was to get out of the house. It was to get away from my dad. And I showed it. I never wanted to speak to my dad. No matter how hard he would try, I wouldn't give him the time of day. My dad would constantly try to teach me how to do things that some dads teach their sons. Try teaching me how to fish, try teaching me how to run maintenance on cars, try teaching me construction. Hell, he even just tried having regular conversations with me, and I wasn't having it. So, of course, our relationship wasn't that great. Then everything changed once I turned 18. You see, my dad, ever since once I turned 16, my dad put me on a new push-forward path to try to find a job or a career. He wanted me to think of what I would do once I got out of high school. And he would breathe down my neck and push me and take take time away from things that I wanted to do in order for me to figure out what it is that I actually wanted to do with my life. He would cut back on me playing video games. He would cut back on me watching movies, hanging out with my friends, hanging out, doing other things that I wanted to do. Heck, even reading. I mean, when I was growing up, I was big into reading. Reading was one of my favorite things to do. It's kind of crazy when your own dad has to ground you from reading books in order to get you to get off of your ass. But that's exactly what he did. So for 2 years straight, I was trying to figure out what it is I wanted to do with my life. And of course, I was just trying to find ways to get the hell out of the house. And tensions kept rising with my dad. We kept on getting into more fights. We kept on having days where we wouldn't speak to each other at all. And then I made a decision. I joined the military. And it was something that my dad supported. And even when I talked to a recruiter, even when I was going through MEPS, even when I signed the freaking papers, I just kept thinking to myself, I can't get out of the house fast enough. And then I had the culture shock of going through basic. You see, I know that the trope or hearing the words, you never know how much you'll miss something until you no longer have it, is a bit of a cliche, but it is very much true. Suddenly, when I was going through basic, it was the toughest time in my entire life. I mean, you have instructors constantly on you, pushing, yelling at you, stressing you the hell out, pushing you past your limits to the point where you didn't even know that you even had limits. And all the while, I kept on thinking one thing. Man, I would love to build a house with my dad. And that was something I never thought I would ever think of. I started thinking, I want to build a house with my dad. I want to go fishing with my dad. I want to do something with my dad. Hell, I just wanted a conversation with my dad. And that's when it hit me. My dad was trying to prepare me the entire time. He was trying to help me. And I pushed him away. Every single time. And it is the biggest regret I've ever had in my life. On the day of my graduation from basic training, I pushed myself past any limit I possibly had just because I wanted to see my dad again. And on the day of graduation, we go out. There's a large crowd everywhere. We're all lined up in formation. We're doing the normal things, taking the oath of enlistment, saying the Airman's Creed, singing the Air Force song, listening to the commander and the senior enlisted leader give us words of encouragement. As we walked out, I heard my dad yell as loud as he possibly can. And he yelled my name. When I was finally tapped out, my dad came up to me and he told me how proud he was. And that's when it hit me. That was the thing that I wanted to hear my entire life. All along, I just wanted to hear my dad say that he was proud of me. Now that I'm in, I talk to my dad regularly. I have good conversations with him. We talk to each other about work, about our lives, how things are going where we are living. And my dad and I also started doing a tradition where sometimes we would send each other Facebook posts. Most of the time he will be the one sending me posts, but occasionally I'll find one and I think it's funny or it's good or it's motivational and I send it to him. The thing is, for those of you who have a father, and for those of you who are going through tough times with your dads, who think that your dad doesn't care, who think that your dad doesn't understand you, doesn't listen to you, doesn't care about you, trust me, he does. He cares about you more than anything else in the world. And the reason he's so hard on you is because he wants you to become something that you didn't think that you could become. You think that he's trying to make you into him. He's not. He's trying to make you into something better than him. There's a quote in a game called God of War Ragnarok. It's one of my all-time favorite games, but there is a quote in it that really hits me every time I hear it. The main character, who is coincidentally a father, his name's Kratos, says a line to his son. His son asks him, "Do you think I might be better than you one day?" In which Kratos responds with, "If you are not, then I have failed." That is a father's mantra. If a father cannot make you better than him, then to him that he has failed. A father's role is to teach. A father's role is to protect and to guide. He's trying to prepare you. He's trying to guide you to make the right decisions. Heck, he might be trying to guide you to not make mistakes that he might have made in his life. Cherish the moments that you have with your dad. Cherish every single moment. Even when he's being hard on you, even when he's yelling at you, even when you are so angry that you never want to speak to him in your life. Know that he cares about you. You're never going to meet anyone else like your father. You're never going to meet anyone stronger. You're never going to meet anyone smarter. You're never going to meet anyone greater than your dad. You're going to look up your entire life to that man who is a role model to you. And he's going to try to fulfill it to the best of his ability. He has no idea what he's doing. He's just trying to teach you how to not do something horrible. He's trying to teach you how to be a good person, how to be a man, how to be an actual good, kind-hearted man. He's just as stressed as you are, if not more. So next time you see your dad, next time you talk to your dad, give him a hug. That's quite possibly all he wants. My dad is constantly tired. Even whenever I talk to him, I can tell that he's just a very tired, hard-working man. Show him some appreciation. Show your father, show your dad, show this man who has raised you to the man that you could be, to the best version of yourself that you could possibly become. Show him that what he is doing is working. That he has not failed. Anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. So, Dad, if you see this, I love you. I love you. And I always will. And I appreciate and I am thankful for everything that you've done. Even when you were hard on me, even when you were pushing me past my limits, Even when we were angry at each other, I still thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. I want to end this on a little fun fact for the day, kind of to lighten the mood a little bit. Did you know that a platypus can glow under a UV light, and scientists have no idea as to why? Anyway, if you have a dad, show him that you appreciate him, because I guarantee he needs it. Hope you all have a blessed day.